After it is ICPT. Remember how at the earnings ICPT went lower just like that, same level, with the exception ICPT was at 52 and then went higher. Okay,
Right.
so what I'm trying to highlight here is biotechnology stocks next week. I think they started buying them last week, and I think that trend is only going to continue. And look at this stock. Did it fall at any point? Look, yeah, it fell here by what, $2? I mean, who cares, right? It's up $15 from 50 to 65, almost 66 bucks. And what do you think is going to happen if it's going to break above this level here, 67? Look, it used to be almost $100 stock right here, $92, $93. So what do you think is going to happen once it breaks that? I mean, the banks are going to keep buying it. And let me ask you this. How do tariffs affect pharmaceutical companies? You know, the big heavy hitters are going to be putting the money that they're certain about. And they're looking at this biotechnology sector, and it's been oversold. I think that's where the money is going next week. They're going to be buying these pharmaceutical companies. Now, look, to make my case stronger, this is what I'm noticing. And of course, this has been a solid winner. And remember why we were talking about that this was going to be such a good stock to buy at earnings, no matter what the results were going to be? Because we were looking at this graph right here, and we said, look, they're clearly accumulating the stock no matter what, because we looked at this accumulation level. And as the stock went lower here, look, the accumulation jumped like crazy. So somebody stepped in and bought a ton of shares, and they kept accumulating them all throughout here. And now they're thinking it's a perfect time to move the stock higher. You also got some bullish signs right here. You've got a bullish sign across over the 50-day line. You can possibly have another bullish sign right here, over here. And of course, look at the RSI. It's not at 90 yet. It's not oversold, but it's got a very positive upside trend there. So very similar thing that we're observing in ICPT. And talking about like your long-term position. Look, I still think that this is, I know you're trying to look for like a 3-month hold on some of these options. I still believe that this could be a very good one to hold for 3 months. And, opposed to some stocks like, Amazon and all the stuff, which are going to go into a lot of headwinds. See, this stock is so cheap, But look, remember, that's when it reported earnings right here. That's what we're talking about getting in, and you were hesitant about it, and then here. So remember, I was pointing out that as the market was dropping 400 points lower, 300 points low, this stock was trading around that 60-day range. Remember we talked about this?
Yeah.
So, and now it breaks out higher. And I think next week, I wouldn't be surprised if next week ICPT tested this $70 level. I wouldn't be surprised if it went right here to 70 bucks. Now, what happens once it gets there, I can't tell you. It may trade down a couple of dollars. It may kind of stop there for maybe a week, but I think ultimately it's going to go above that 70 level. It's going to run into some resistance there, but there's your move for $7. That's enough to make, 200-300% return on options. Okay, and you can still buy them in the money. To buy them options in the money probably a month out, you're looking to spend maybe $400. So, I've got a strategy I'm going to go with you at the end. But look, so that's ICPT, another biopharmaceutical company. Okay, now let's look here to make the case stronger. Just let's see if we observe the same trend in some other companies. Now, this is a company that's actually been good. Actually, one of my students made a ton of money on this one. Like, I'll show you, in like a week or 2 weeks ago. Okay, so what do you see here, Shaq?
Yeah, it's going up slowly.
Slowly. No, what we're seeing is exactly the same thing. I want you to go into your TD Ameritrade account, and I want you to look at Friday graph, daily graph, and see what the stocks were doing. And I'm going to tell you what the stocks were doing. Pretend like this is not a monthly chart. If you look on Friday, this is what the stocks did. Let's pretend like this right here is Friday. Like this whole thing is Friday. So the stocks dropped severely in the morning. Then they were doing this, what this stock is doing here. They kept going lower, and we thought, oh my God, the market's going to crash another few hundred points. And then they went higher. We thought, oh my God, it's going higher. Oh, then it's going lower. For sure it's going lower. Then it goes higher. For sure it's going lower. So they're basically testing, and the stock is having some resistance, just like the entire market did. Okay? And then having some resistance, and now we're noticing sort of a switch of trend. Look at the volume. Yes, on the way down, the volume was higher here, but now we're noticing some really strong volume on the way higher. Do you see these?
Yeah.
Then it goes lower here, and then ultimately it's starting to break out. I think at 330 is a perfect moment to get in, because I think the next move this stock is going to do is going to go right here to 357. The question is it going to go to 357 on Monday, or is it going to get there by Thursday or Friday? But I think there's a $20 move higher in this stock by Friday for sure. And I wouldn't be even surprised if it made a $30 move higher next week, because clearly this is where the money is going right now. It's got nothing to do with tariffs. It's cheap. The stock is cheap. There's nothing wrong with the company. It's been in the oversold territory for a long time. Look, right here, been hitting these 30s right here, but it's finally taken off. It's taken off on the RSI. It kept hitting the bottom the entire month. Now we're seeing clearly signs where it's ready to take off. Okay, there's your MACD bullish sign where the black line crosses the red line, and we're not seeing this here yet. The accumulation jumping higher, but I guarantee if we look at this graph on Monday and Tuesday, you're going to see that this accumulation is going to start going higher. Okay, I guarantee you that. So now, do you see the similarity? All of these biotechnology stocks, they're bottomed out, and we're finally seeing some life in them. Do you see this?
Yeah, they're buying it crazy.
And do you see this?
Yeah, it started to go up.
Now, I have noticed this trend, so look, we've looked at once pharmaceutical, okay, where it went from $50 to $65. We've looked at REGN pharmaceuticals, where it's fine, where the graph pretty much looks like this, where they keep accumulating stock as it goes, as the bottom's out, and they're just starting to buy it. And this thing has not done that yet in the accumulation, but it's about to. And we've looked at ICPT, which clearly has held unbelievably well during all these market headwinds. And so, will it close the gap is my question. How hard would it be for this stock to go back to 92.50? But you know what? This wouldn't even be my favorite stock. Like, I'm probably going to look at buying a bunch of REGN calls. And if you're talking about, like, look, if this is really the sign, if this is the sign that they're just starting to put the money in biotech, we're actually catching a golden opportunity here, because we don't have to worry about what they're doing with tariffs. And I think you can really go out, a week, a month on these out, and you can generate some really good returns in these. Okay, I'm buying 100 REGN calls Monday. I don't care what if the market is down, I'm buying these calls. If the market is up, I'm buying these calls. I just hope that the stock is not going to be up by $10, $20 by the time I'm ready to buy these things Monday when the market opens. I hope it's not going to give up higher. But to me, clearly,
when you buy calls, how many weeks do you go out?
No, I would buy just weekly, because I think this move, if I'm correct, this move is going to happen this week. Like I said, I'm expecting a $20, $30 move higher on these Regeneron pharmaceuticals this week. I think it's easily gets to test this 50-day line right here at 357. $27 move for this stock. Tell me, is it a big move for this stock, or is it not?
Moves like $27 1%.
Well,
big move.
It's not, it's not 1%. It's more than that. Just to help you understand the situation, look at the weekly.
Well, $27 or $33 is 1% of this stock, right?
No, it's 10%.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's 10%.
You're used to these, you're used to BKNG trading at $1,900, $2,000 bucks. Google at $1,100. So yeah, for them, that would be $30 would be like, you know, for Google would be like a 3% or something like that. But you know, no, $30 move for the stock is 10%, and I think it's actually has a chance to move there. But look how often has it done these $20, $30 moves consecutively. Look at this move. How much is this move? This is from what it went from, you know, 416 to, I'm sorry, 320 to 420 in what? Less than a couple of days. Do you see this right here? What I'm saying,
Right.
it can make another move like this next week, and I would not be surprised by it at all. At all. And see, now that we've taken it out on a longer time frame, I mean, this actually looks pretty good. So I think if it's going to make this move higher, then this 50 days is actually not going to cross the 200-day on the way lower. So we're not going to get a death cross here. It's actually going to move higher. And I don't know. I just think all of these biotechnology stocks that are good stocks, like they are undervalued. And look, take a look at this one, okay? This is, you know, but this stock's just been trending really good for a while. But I don't think they're going to be buying a stock like this right now. I think they're going to go for the bargains that are just like way down there, okay? So, I mean, this stock is at 163. It's probably one of the best stocks that everybody loves as far as, you know, pharmaceutical companies, right? But, I mean, this stock, look, it's all the way at the top, you know? And all the good news is already priced into the stock. So they're going to go for these REGN, ICPT, PBYi. They're going to be buying those things because they're cheap. They represent small risk. They got nothing to do with tariffs. I really think they're going to go after these things and going to buy them up. And you know, they're going to buy them up strong next week. Okay, so that's my case for next week, March 5th through March 9th. So March 5th through March 9th represents probably a beginning of a bull market for the biotechnology pharmaceutical stocks. That's my belief. Okay. Now, if this is true, then what should we expect? Well, you know, I think we're still going to expect some headwinds in other stocks, though, because these stocks, they were not falling when the market was falling. Okay, just in other words, look. Once again, I'm going to look at this stock. Once Therapeutics. Okay, so this stock was not falling. I mean, if we're going to go look at the last 2 weeks, like the market was falling, this stock was not falling. It was going higher. And this is a resemblance that we're seeing across the board on these stocks. Look, as the market was falling lower, this stock was going higher.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to see. So these stocks are actually strong in this type of market environment. So that's why I think it is a safe bet to buy calls on these things, because we're clearly seeing that the money's just starting to go into these things. And if this is just the beginning of the cycle, because look, they have been beating up these biotechnology stocks for the last couple of years. So if this is the early beginning of a reversal, then clearly need to load up on some of these calls, okay? So I'm just out of these stocks that we discussed, 5 of them. Once Therapeutics, ICPT, PBYi, REGN. I think the best stock to go after is REGN. I think my second choice would be ICPT, okay?
Okay.
And I think this stock could skyrocket back to 90. I mean, who knows? I mean, you know, it's hard to say with these biotechnology stocks, you know, why and how fast they can go. But one thing I do know, because I've seen it over and over with these things again, they could go stupidly high. These stocks, I mean, look, there is no fundamentals. There is nothing in these stocks that drive them, like these announcements, you know, product developments, you know, what stage of development their new drug is, you know, like it's hard. But if this is the beginning of the buying cycle, this is it. I mean, this is how you make a lot of money. So I think if you have been curious how to make the money when markets fall, please visit marketcrash.money and get some additional information. Specifically, I have compiled some interesting reasons why stock market crash 2010 is a definite possibility, why we could be going for another Bitcoin crash, and more importantly, how to not let the market crash or the Bitcoin crash take advantage of you. Find out how to profit. If you're a new trader or an experienced trader, but you're looking for new ideas, new ways, how to take advantage of the market fall, because quite honestly, markets do fall much, much faster than they go up. So it represents, for a trader, a great opportunity to profit on the opposite direction of the market in a much shorter time frame, and oftentimes maximize much bigger returns. So if interested in knowing the ways how I trade weekly options for huge profits as much as 3,800% to 5,000% on certain days, get in touch with me. Visit this link right here, how to profit, read some information, and schedule your consultation. I'll be glad to help out and get somebody on the right track and show you some of my profitable ideas and share some experience which I've accumulated over the last 30 years trading weekly options. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. We'll see you soon.